Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Here with Lady Raider Volleyball coming your way here this evening from Daleville High School in Daleville, Indiana. We have your 13-1 and the 5-0 in the conference Wapahani Lady Raiders as they take on the 5-9 and 2-3 in the MEC Conference Daleville Lady Broncos. Glad to have all you with us here on this Monday evening as we get right into things here with our Raiders Live pregame presented by B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law. Again, Wapahani had a very successful week last week as we continue our winning ways. Got three very big wins, and you come in now to tonight's ball game, another conference ball game, in which we've got to take care of business. We know the task at hand, and hopefully on the road we can take care of business here tonight. Now, this is going to be a very busy week. Not only do we have tonight's conference game here against Daleville, but then on Wednesday we have Monroe Central, another conference game. Then Thursday we're back on the road again, which we will be at Alexandria, and what should be a great matchup there between us and the Lady Tigers. And then the Muncie Central Invitational on Saturday. So a very busy week again here for Wapahani. I think what we had Shenandoah at Shenandoah last Tuesday, then at home last Wednesday against Madison Grant, and then we was back on the road last Thursday at Randolph Southern. So really two back-to-back weeks. Well, actually, essentially three if you consider the week before that with Muncie Burris and such. But these girls have continued to play some outstanding volleyball, and I've said it already numerous times throughout the season here, but you can tell the maturation of this team and overall just coming together as the season has went along here, and it's really proved out to be a very successful year so far. You're coming into the night 13-1, 5-0 in the conference. We're taking care of business when we need to, and we're playing the game together, and we're playing it the right way. First part of the season, we was having a little bit of trouble finishing some ball games. But here of late, I think we've done a much better job of that. We've established a lead and then not only held on to the lead, but pushed that lead even further. And we've had a lot of success, and hopefully that trend will just continue here for us this week, and some very good competitive volleyball here for us. And like I said, it all starts right here tonight against Daleville. Now, this Lady Broncos team, they're not obviously as good as what they have been in recent years. But, this isn't a team that, you just ride off automatically and say, this is going to be a nice, easy win. These ladies are going to be out here. They're playing in front of their home crowd, in front of their friends and families, and, trying to represent their school to the best of their ability. And, so they're going to be out here ready to go. That's a big game for them especially. With Wapahani coming in here undefeated in conference play and ranked number 2 in Class 2A. You want to take down, essentially one of the big dogs, so to speak. And so Daleville is going to be prepared, ready to go. And hopefully Wapahani not only matches their intensity, but then probably touches it up a notch. And hopefully can get a big victory on Monday night right here from Daleville High School. Folks, before we conclude our Raiders Live pregame here this evening, we really did want to send a shout out to a fan of ours, which is Cameron Wise's relative, Uncle Joe, living down in Georgia. Wanted to send a shout out to him. Hope you and all of your family is having a nice day so far. Hope you all enjoy the game, and hopefully all have a great week. Watch this right here on the WHS Network. And we also wanted to send another shout out to Tabitha Wise on a very happy birthday here for her today. We appreciate all of our watchers and listeners and everybody that continues to support not only the Lady Raider volleyball team, but all of the sporting teams that we broadcast for, and even the ones that we don't broadcast for. Everybody's important, and all these student athletes work hard on the court and in the classroom, and we're happy to be able to bring this game to all you fine folks out there in Raider Nation. So again, this has been our Raiders Live pregame presented by B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law. We'll step aside here for a break. We have about a minute or so, until the national anthem, and then tonight's lineups again between your Wapahani Lady Raiders and the Daleville Lady Broncos.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
All righty, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Brandon Morvillius alongside here with me as cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy as we take a look here at tonight's lineups. First and foremost here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. We'll start off here with number 1, Olivia Smith. Number 2, Reese Baker. Number 3, Emily Stewart. Number 4, Gracie Stanley. Number 5, Emma Shuck. Number 6, Ashton Zitgraff. Number 7, Chloe Cook. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. As well as number 10, Briley Felton. Number 11, Macy Bowden. Number 12, Cameron Wise. And number 16, Cadence Brewer. Manager here for Wapahani is Alec Perry, and the head coach, this is Katie Weir, assisted by Paige Williamson, Lindy Davis, and Madison Mangus. Now we'll take a look here at the Daleville Lady Broncos. We'll start off here at number 1, Sarah Sizemore. Number 2, Emmy Isom. Number 4, Ava Poppy. Number 6, Tegan Ellis. Number 8, Sky Yoder. Number 10, Sydney Neff. Number 13, Cadence Lynn. Number 15, Abby Reed. Number 16, Annabella Ray. Number 17, Audrey Voss. And number 18, Lauren Finley. The Lady Broncos are coached by Rosie North, assisted by Natalie Kitchen and Meredith Taylor. So that's tonight's teams here on the WHS Network. Again, stay tuned in here. We got it live here coming up on the WHS Network. Wapahani, Daleville coming up right after this. All right, welcome back here live on the WHS Network as we're about to get things started here this evening. I'd like to thank our sponsors here tonight. I'd like to thank Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership, proud sponsor of us here on the WHS Network. Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership, owned by Randy Stoops and located at 4055 West Clare Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles of quality brand names. So if you have an interest in a vehicle, I'd like to know more information about one, contact Stoops at 765-288-1903. And also visit their online website at stoopsauto.com. Also, I'd like to send out another special thanks to one of our other sponsors here, B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation. They strive to aggressively represent all their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. Their team has extensive experience in personal injury, criminal defense, which includes drunk driving, criminal record, bankruptcy expungements, and hardship licenses. For more information, you can visit his website at www.bjosephdavis.com. So it looks like we're starting to get all the lineups all squared away here on the floor. Again, as I mentioned in our Raiders Live pregame earlier this evening, this is going to be another very busy week for this Lady Raider volleyball team. This is the third week in a row where we have at minimum of 3 games, in which here for Wapahani we got tonight's game here at Daleville, Wednesday night back at home against Monroe Central, Thursday at Alexandria, and then the Muncie Central Invitational coming up on Saturday morning. So again, a little bit of a different camera view, much like what we had at Shenandoah last Tuesday, so we apologize for that, but tried to get the best camera view possible here for tonight's game. As we get things started here tonight, again, no Allison Stewart tonight. Not sure exactly of the reason behind that, but if it's an illness thing, we hope she gets feeling better. If it's anything else, we hope that she gets back soon. But nevertheless, Macy Bowden stepping in tonight, being the setter here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. That's the only change overall here for Wapahani. Summers on the attack there, and will collect the kill for Wapahani, now taking a 2-0 lead. Still have Reese Baker back to serve. Mishandled there, but able to get it over there was Abby Reed. Wise on the attack, but hits that one out of bounds. And now 2-1 here as we'll see our first substitution here of the night. And that will be number 4, Ava Poppy. Will now come in here for the Lady Broncos, and now back to serve will be number 16, Annabelle Ray. Nice serve right there, handled by Baker. Set to Wise, bringing it right there with that one. So Wise collects her first kill of the night, and the Raiders off to a 3-1 start here. Cadence Brewer in here for Wapahani, and Cameron Wise back to serve. Dug out and now set up as Ray will get it over. Baker, then the Bowden on there to shot. Set back to Shuck one more time around and gets it to fall in. Rode the top of the net and was able to get it down in play in front of the outstretched hands of the Daleville defender. Baker gets there in time, just right in front of us. I'll tell you what, we'll definitely get another in-depth play here tonight, being so close to the action, as Daleville will get back on the board. So 4-2 the score. We'll see number 15 back there to serve. And that's going to be blocked. Point there for Daleville as they now dwindle that lead now down to just 1. Again, number 15, Abby Reed, serving here for the Lady Broncos. Little floater serve handled by Summers. Bowden with the setup. Summers on the attack, gets it to go. Off. Okay, I guess there was no block. Okay, so now there's a little discussion here between the up and down referees. It looked to me that the ball had been blocked off of the blocker's hands there of Daleville when Summers was on the attack there. But they're saying that it did not. It just hit the net and then went out of bounds. I'm not so sure that that ball would have ricocheted that much. Could have, I don't know. And now they're going to go ahead and change the call. Point for Wapahani. So it goes in our favor right there. We have Emily Stewart now in here and back to serve. Another sub in here for Daleville will be number 6, Tegan Ellis. So again, we have Emily Stewart back to serve. Wapahani on top here by 2 in tonight's opening set. Dug out, that was mishandled and bad pass, and then we had a nice, tried to be attempted a nice setup, but they couldn't get a whole lot on it there. It was number 13, Lynn. So miscue there for the Lady Broncos. Good thing there for Wapahani. And that's going to be an ace for the Raiders. Some of the passing woes back-to-back now for Daleville have cost them a couple points. And serve into the net. Unfortunate error there for Wapahani, but Daleville gets back on the board here now 7-4. As we will see number 1, Sarah Sizemore back to serve. Nice court vision right there and recognition where you're at there by Olivia Smith. She watches that sail just out of bounds on that back line. So we'll see Chloe Cook now in here for the first time tonight for the Raiders. Summers, they're back to serve. And that will be an ace, as the Lady Broncos playing a little hot potato there just momentarily. Wapahani doing a nice job overall from the service pressure, serving it into the back row, putting pressure on them early here to make the right pass, and not only just to make the pass in general, as Daleville's having a tough time just of doing that. Another nice one there, tipped up in the air, and Summers will set it into the back row. On the attack there was Ray. Bowden back over now to Cook, and that's going to be out of bounds. So again, we can't even see entirely everything ourselves, so just kind of bear with us here this evening with the camera view. Of course, you know, we got some people will walk in front of us as well. Nothing that we can really do a whole lot about. We do appreciate Daleville even giving us a seat here in the house here this evening, giving us a nice opportunity to broadcast tonight's ball game. 11-5 lead here for Wapahani. Olivia Smith back to serve. Dug out there by number 2, Isom. And tipped into the net, kept alive there by Wise, as that will be set over the net there by Emily Stewart. Bowden gets a hand done on it. Summers sets it to Cook and hit well out of bounds. So another substitution here for Daleville. A couple of them actually. Number 8, Sky Yoder, and number 15, Abby Reed, back into the Lady Bronco lineup as they're down by 5 here in the first set. Nice dig there from Stewart, set to Cook on the attack, and now be in there for the kill. Now 12-6 Wapahani, as the overall success from a hitting standpoint here for Wapahani continues here. We've really seen a lot of great action here from these Lady Raiders. Multiple girls being able to come out here and produce offensively, and we're going to have a net violation called on Daleville. Crucial error there for the Broncos. Now as they find themselves down by 7, Macy Bowden back to serve. And that's going to be an ace there for Bowden. Way to sneak it inside the line there. The defenders got out of the way thinking for sure that was going to be out of bounds. Obviously Bowden had some other ideas. So that will have a timeout taken. 15-6. Wapahani leads here in the opening set of tonight's matchup. We'll step aside and we'll be back with more coming right out of the timeout.
Need legal advice or representation? You can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
All right, welcome back, folks. Here coming out of the timeout again, Wapahani with a 15-6 lead here in the opening set. As we'll see Macy Bowden coming back out of the timeout, back to serve here for Wapahani. Get a strong start here for Lady Raiders early here in this one. We just hope that success continues, as Sizemore will get it over, mishandled, but Summers will punch it over. Using those iron fists, Summers tried to keep it alive there, but the ball deflected off of the speaker, back down in play. Just unfortunate there for Wapahani. Not a whole lot you can do about that one. cat-like reflexes or not, that's going to be a tough one to get to. So back there to serve just a moment ago was Audrey Voss, as that one's going to be hit out of bounds again here by Wapahani. So back-to-back points here for Daleville as they narrow that lead now back down to 7. Summers to Bowden, set on up to Cook, bringing the hammer, and the Raiders again doubling up here on Daleville, 16-8. Reese Baker back in here for Wapahani, and she'll be back to serve. Nice serve there from Baker. On the attack there was number 13, Lynn. Summers back at it right there. There's Baker. Bowden back to Wise, and in there for the kill will be Cameron Wise, as the Raiders again reach that lead to 9. Tipped over the net, but blocked from Shuck. Back at it this time was Ray. Baker tried to get over there, but unable to get there in time, as that ball headed out of bounds to make it 17-9. Ray back to serve, and also now in here will be number 8, Sky Yoder for the Lady Broncos. Dug by Smith, and an ace for Annabella Ray. Bowden sets it to Summers, as that's going to be blocked but out of bounds off of the Daleville blockers. 18-10, Brewer back in here. Wise was back there to serve momentarily. And in there will be Emma Shuck with a kill, now 19-10 lead. So the Raiders now up by 10. Wise with another fine serve there. On the attack this time will be Poppy, as Baker digs at Bowden to Summers and hit into the net. Make it a 20-11 ball game. Now subbing back in here for the Broncos will be number 18, Lauren Finley. And back to serve will be Abby Reed. Summers with a dig, tipped over there by Macy Bowden. Little trickery there by the freshman, as we'll see Emily Stewart back in here for Emma Shuck. And an ace again this time there for Emily Stewart, now 22-11. Wanted to send a shout out to former Lady Raider volleyball player, as well as basketball player and softball player Annie Shuck, watching us from Lexington, Kentucky. Annie, we hope you're doing all right down there at Transylvania. And we're glad you're able to watch your sister here live on the WHS network here tonight. 22-12, Sarah Sizemore back to serve for the Broncos. Smith with the dig. Bowden sets it up to Summers. 23-12 after the devastating kill there from Mallory Summers. We'll see Chloe Cook back in here for Wapahani. Again, Summers back to serve here with only 2 points to go here for Wapahani to take this first set. Tipped back across there by Brewer. Very Unfortunate pass there for the Broncos. Great thing here for Wapahani, now only with 1 point to go. Set point here for the Raiders. Ray will set it up here to Voss. Block kept alive there by the Broncos as they'll get it back over. Summers now back to Bowden. Chloe Cook on the attack. Back at it again. This time around we'll have a net violation now on Wapahani. So Daleville will stay alive. As we'll see number 2, Emmy Isom, back in for the Lady Broncos, and she'll be back to serve. Smith there to Bowden, now to Brewer. Ray sets it up this time to Voss. Bowden now to Cook. And they're going to say that it hit the ground. All the up referee did. And another mistake again, for heaven's sakes. So we're going to redo this one again, still 24-13. The up referee thought the ball had landed in there. And so back at it again here, still 24-13. Bowden sets it back to Cook. Nice dig there from Isom as she'll get it back across. Bowden again with another setup to Cook. And that will conclude the first set here as Wapahani takes a 25-13 to now take a 1-0 lead over the Daleville Lady Broncos. Folks, we'll step aside here for a quick break. We got set number 2 coming up live here on the WHS Network.
Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Payne in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again, Brandon Morbilius right here with you alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. A very nice first set here for Wapahani. A great way to get things started here tonight with a 25-13 first set victory over the Lady Broncos. So now you come back out here in the second set. Hopefully you can build off of all the great things you did here in set number 1. Now again, do want to thank some more of our sponsors here tonight. FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Let Ted and Joanne be the key to all of your real estate needs. Buying, selling, or investment properties, we got the job done. So call Ted Cook at 765-744-8143 and Joanne Davis at 765-748-1316. Again, that is FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. So as we get back to volleyball here in set number 2, Seen a lot of great things, continued here for Wapahani, and I talked about this quite often. But the service pressure here for Wapahani, obviously anytime you can, put your opponent in a disadvantage, that's one of the biggest keys to the game. That's what you're trying to do, make them, put them in a situation where they're not going to be able to succeed. But our serves have been very, very good this year. There's some times, yes, we might have, serving errors, whatever the case might be. That's part of the game. But we limit those to very little as possible. But our serving has been spectacular this year, and that's really where it all starts and ends right there, folks. And, not only that, but to go along with that, we have our hitting has been very good with the likes of Summers and Cook, Chuck, Wise, Baker every now and again as well. You have multiple ladies that can really come in here and get the job done, and that's another big thing here for Wapahani, just continuing to mesh this young, the young ladies that have, that are now coming into high school, meshing those with some of the upperclassmen. And thankfully we've been able to have success so far here to start off through these first 14 games of the year. On the attack there and hit out of bounds by number 13, Cadence Lynn, now to Wapahani. Another nice serve there from Baker on the attack that time, and a swing and a miss there by Ava Poppy to make it a 3-0 Raider lead. Baker still back to serve. And that will be an ace for Baker as that one shaked off the side there of Sizemore. So some of these passing issues continuing to be a problem, obviously, here for Daleville. Got a little bit of a rough go over there, and another serve and another ace for Baker. Nice diving action on that one, as that lead has now been pushed to 5. Sizemore just having a tough go of it here. Obviously, Baker doing a nice job of knowing exactly who to serve the ball to. But Sizemore, for whatever reason there, for her sake, just having a tough go of it here. Baker was back at it again, that time dug by Reed. Set that time, and Bowden sets it to Summers, and that will fall in. And rather, we're going to have a net violation called on Daleville. So it's going to be a point either way there for Wapahani. Sizemore with a dig. Ray will send it over the net. Now Bowden sets it to Wise. Mishandled there from Yoder. And Wise will collect another kill here for herself to extend the lead now to an 8-0 run to begin this second set. Bowden with another set to Summers. That's going to be off the fingertips of the blocker and out of bounds.
Plain as day.
So another dispute there between the referees. Not sure if it was blocked or not. I mean, I don't have 20/20 vision, but it was pretty clear to me that it was definitely blocked. So they end up eventually getting the right call. Shuck on the attack that time and gets her hand involved. She collects another kill here for herself, and it's a 10-0 lead here for Wapahani as Daleville will take a timeout. We'll stay right here with you, as this will be our Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership game break. Again, you have a very good first set there. We've continued to build off of our strengths here in set number 2. And, you're already out to a 10-0 start in large part, again, because of our serving. Our serving has been a continued thing that, that we continue to see, great strengths from. All season long, we've been able to serve the ball very, very well. And, as far as with Daleville goes, yes, not only is our serving good, but their passing, unfortunately for them, has not been very good here this evening, especially here in this second set, which is very surprising because really, for the most part, there in the first set, they kind of hung around there for the first maybe 6, 7, 8 points. And then obviously Wapahani went on a run. But, playing at home, I would have thought, they would have been a little bit more energized here. But here in this second set, just not so, as Wapahani is just continuing to put it to them. So we'll see coming out of this timeout here. The Lady Broncos kind of have a renewed outlook on things. We'll see what happens. Shuck with a soft touch over the net. A very well executed ball there by Emma. Blockers stormed up to the front right there looking to block. And Shuck, again, using the old noggin there, was able to just tip it over the hands of the blockers there and down in play, as we now have a 2-hit violation on Daleville. As the woes just seem to continue to build. Floater serve this time around for Baker, changing it up here a little bit. Reed on the attack there, dug by Smith, set to Summers. And another attack and another kill for Mallory Summers. Not to mention another point here for Wapahani, now 13-0. Getting in on the action there, number 15, Reed, gets to it in time. Bowden with a quick set to Wise. We essentially have like a 4 or 5-headed monster out here. Summers, Wise, Shuck, Cook. Now we have Briley Felton in here, and we know she's more than capable of getting in on the action as well from a hitting standpoint. Ray keeps it alive and tipped over there by number 8, Yoder. Bowden sets it to Wise, and that's going to be hit out of bounds, and the Broncos will get on the board here in the second set. A 14-0 run to open things up here for Wapahani. As we'll see number 18, Lauren Finley, back in here for Daleville. And again, Reed back to serve. There's Smith, Bowden, Felton, handled there by Reed, and a bad setup there. Very unfortunate there as Broncos another miscue, and the Raiders able to execute on it. Now 15-1 with Cameron Wise back to serve. Set up that time around and hit into the net there by Cadence Lynn. So Wise still back to serve. And that will be another ace for the Raiders. I've lost track on how many aces we've had now. At least here in this second set alone, I would be willing to bet we have at least a good 7. Mishandled by number 16, Ray. Off the fingertips, and Wise again still remaining back to serve with an 18-1 cushion and served out of bounds. That time around there by Wise. Number 17, Audrey Voss, back in here for Daleville. Baker with a dig. Bowden sets it to Felton. And that will land in there for her first kill tonight. So we'll see Emily Stewart back in here, and also for the first time of the night, we'll see number 4, Gracie Stanley, getting in on the action here. Again, seeing a little bit of everybody now. Of course, when you have unfortunately for Daleville, a 17-point lead, it might be time to definitely clear the bench. But of course, with the depth here of Wapahani, we're going to have a net violation called here on the Raiders. But as I was about to mention, and I've said this in other games as well, but the depth that we have, it really doesn't matter. You can bring Stanley in here or Zitgraf, girls that don't play a whole lot, or, Felton, other girls that might not get a whole lot of playing time, but if you need them in there, I guarantee you they will be successful. That's just one of the better parts about this team that, we've always, had pretty good depth, but this year especially, you can rely on just about anybody to come in there and find a way to get the job done. Just as good as, maybe what you would have in your starting rotation. So a serving error there will be there by number 2, Emmy Isom, as we'll see Chloe Cook back in here. And also Ashton Zitgraf seeing some action now, seeing her first action of the night here for Zitgraf, as we'll see Mallory Summers back to serve. And a Raider 20-3 lead rather. Bowden now to Summers as Cook will be on the attack. Ray tips it over. Summers back to Bowden. Set to Cook. And in there will be Chloe with the kill. And it is obviously all Raiders here in set number 2, just 4 points away from taking a 2-0 lead over the Lady Broncos. Another near ace, as that will be deflected out of bounds off of Daleville. Floater serve there from Summers. Great placement there. Sneak it over the net. Nice block. I think that might have been from Chloe Cook on the block that time around. 23-3. Another floater serve from Summers. On the attack this time will be Finley. Stewart with a dig. Bowden to Brewer. And now Cook back on the attack and finding some open real estate. And actually, they're going to say that went out of bounds. Couldn't have been by a whole lot. So we'll see number 8, Sky Yoder, back in here. And back to serve for the Lady Broncos. There's Stewart now. Bowden, quick set to Brewer. Put a lot on it. Unfortunately, sailed out of bounds. Zitgraf now to Summers, as will free ball action here for Daleville. Somehow is able to get it over. Nearly messed that one up. Chloe Cook on the attack. And another one head out of bounds. So a couple of them now here by Chloe, getting off the side of the hand and out of bounds. 23-6. Yoder still back to serve for Daleville. Skipped over the top of the net, in there for the ace. And Yoder getting it going here for Daleville. I guess they always say better late than never. Unfortunately, Yoder serves that one into the net. And this one will be set point for your Lady Raiders, now up 24-7. We'll see number 12, Cameron Wise, now in the ball game. And now some more confusion about who's supposed to be coming in, and so on and so forth. So we'll have Olivia Smith now back to serve. Cameron Wise again just came into the game, and it looks like everything is all squared away. Dug by Sizemore. Ray with a set up there to Voss. Smith now to Bowden on the Cook. Dug out there by Sizemore, and Wise hit it back over after a bad pass here by the Broncos. Free ball action for Daleville. Set again to Voss and hit into the net. And the Raiders will take set number 2, 25-7. So much different second set here for Daleville. They fell off early after a 14-0 run to open up the second set here by Wapahani. And a job well done here by the Lady Raiders. Now a 2-0 lead as we'll step aside here for a break. And we'll be back here with more Lady Raider volleyball coming up on the WHS Network. All right, welcome back here, folks. Again, thanks for joining us here on this beautiful Monday night of Lady Raider Volleyball, live here on the WHS Network. Again, your Wapahani Lady Raiders with a 2-0 lead over the Daleville Lady Broncos, 25-13 and 25-7. Again, much the same here in this third set. Just continue doing what you're doing. It's working out for us. Again, when you got off to the start like you did there in that second set, it's hard to really complain about anything. Really Daleville couldn't get anything going until late right there in that second set. They were able to put a 2 or 3 point stretch together, but got to give a lot of credit there to Wapahani. They just continued after them and worked out well for us. And unfortunately for Daleville, it was just kind of one miscue after another. So I'm sure they'll be eager to correct things and get back out of here in set number 3 and see what they can make of this game here. I'm sure they definitely don't want to get swept on their home floor. Nobody wants that to happen on their home court. But nice start here for Wapahani. 2-0 lead here. Again, we'll be back at it on Wednesday night as we'll be back on our home court from Raider Gymnasium in Selma, Indiana, as we welcome, let's see, who do we play Wednesday night, Redbeard? I forgot about that now. Monroe Central. I didn't even have to have him answer right there. Monroe Central Wednesday night. Tell you what, folks, we got so many games all the time, it's kind of hard to keep track of everything and keep it fresh on your mind. As many games as we've had throughout especially the past 3 weeks. So, nevertheless, Monroe Central coming up live Wednesday night on the WHS Network. But until then, we got one more set to finish out here for Wapahani, and we'll start things off here with Reese Baker back to serve. Dug out there, another unfortunate pass for Daleville. It's kind of one and done there as Wise will hit that one out of bounds. And Daleville starts off with a 1-0 lead here in the third set. So back to serve will be number 16, Annabella Ray. Smith will handle that one. Bowden with a setup to Shuck. Dig from Ray, and hitting it backwards now is number 4. Poppy was able to get it over. Summers back on the attack that time around. Deflected up in the air. Smith finds it there in the back corner. Back to Shuck once more. Dug by Sizemore now. Tons of action. And a point there for Wapahani as that was tipped right back down by Mallory Summers. So I hope all you caught all that. If I was talking a little too fast for you, well, then I apologize. Sizemore there with a dig after the serve there from Wise. Bound with a setup to Brewer, and Cadence unable to get it inside the line. Number 18, Lauren Finley back in for the Broncos. And serving will be number 15, Abby Reed. Summers, Bowden, back to Summers again in there. A recipe for destruction there. As this game now tied at 2, we'll see Emily Stewart returning to the Raider lineup here for Emma Shuck. Nice serve there from Emily. And a block from Cadence Brewer. The ultimate denial right there. So we're still having some issues now with the students being on the court, for heaven's sakes. All right, so the students have been told. Now we're finally back to volleyball. And a mistimed jump there. I think that was by number 4, Poppy. Will give the Raiders now a 2-point lead. With Stewart still back to serve. Changing directions right there. Ray hits it into the net. Well, I guess passes it into the net, if you will. Dug that time by Ellis. Now set there by Bowden there to Brewer, and Brewer will collect a kill. Subbing in now for the Broncos, number 15, Abby Reed. As Stewart looks to continue this, I guess, perfect example of continuing the points here for Wapahani. I tell you what, of course, as I say that, a net violation here for Wapahani, but we've just continued to put as much pressure on them as possible here with our serve. Daleville struggled here in the passing part of the game, which is why that's worked out so well. Dug out there and tipped to the back corner. Kept alive there by Brewer as Baker will get it over. And miss hit. Now be 4 hits on Daleville. Now 7-3. As we'll see Chloe Cook back here for Wapahani, and now serving will be Mallory Summers. Floater serve there for Mallory. Sizemore now to Ray. Voss on the attack, out of bounds. So 8-3 Raiders. Sizemore again handles it. Set on there to number 4, Ava Poppy, as she'll get that one to fall in. And now a sub, number 2, Emmy Ison, returns to action for Daleville, and she'll be back to serve again. Did a couple shout-outs earlier, not sure if they heard us or not at the time. I'd like to again send our shout-outs this evening to Uncle Joe, relative of Cameron Wise, player here for Wapahani, watching us down from Georgia. And then down in Lexington, Kentucky, Transylvania University, Miss Annie Shuck watching us down there. Appreciate all you guys being loyal and watching your Lady Raiders and also your favorite girls out here on the floor with Cameron and Emma. Both having a really nice game here for themselves. Now a 9-5 ball game. And back to serve now will be number 8, Sky Yoder. There's Smith, Bowden now to Cook with the old wrap around, but a nice job there from number 15, Reed, to sneak the ball back over the net. And now a net violation on Daleville. Make it a 10-5 game. Emma Shuck back in here for Wapahani. She'll return to action for Emily Stewart. And Macy Bowden back to serve. Let's see if the Raiders can go on a little run here. Maybe rattle off a good 6 or 7 points. Summers will dig it out. Bowden sets it to Cook. Reed now that time around. Bowden set to Shuck. And that will get it done by Emma. Kill there for Shuck. 11-5 Wapahani. And Bowden still back to serve. Tipped over by Raid. Now Bowden sets it up beautifully there for Wise. Very nice quick set to the kill by Cameron. As the Raiders now have extended that lead back here to a 7-point lead. Smith with the set to Cook. Tipped over, and Daleville will get it back over. Sizemore there will get the job done for Daleville. Cook again on the attack. That time he'll fall in. Again, following tonight's ball game, usually we have our Raiders Live post-game edition as Bowden will serve an ace and a timeout taken here by Daleville. So we'll go ahead and stick right here with you during our Stoopside Auto Group Buick and GMC dealership game break. But as I was just about to mention, we usually have a Raiders Live post-game. When we're on the road, we don't do them just simply because we've got to get things cleaned up rather quickly to get back on the bus and head back home. So we'll try to wrap things up as quickly as possible once this game does end, whenever that might be. But just again, another reminder, Wednesday we're back at home against Monroe Central, and then Thursday we're at Alexandria. We hope to be live for that game as well. Not so sure. In other years we have been. We've been able to broadcast live from there. Then there's been other times where we haven't. Just depends upon if the internet is going to work out for us or not. So that'll be coming up on Thursday, and then Saturday with the Muncie Central Invitational. Not sure if they have the field house ready or not. I think that it might be ready to go. I know they got the floor down, I think, in late July, early part of August. So the Muncie Fieldhouse should be up and ready to go for Saturday, hopefully. But we'll try to get out there and broadcast those games as well. I doubt that we will be live for that, as it is now 15-5 Wapahani. All right, again, just an outlook on the week again. Then we have the county tournament, I believe, starting next week, potentially. So that will obviously be a very important part of the year, as this season does start to wind down here. We'll have a substitution now for Daleville, be number 12, which is not on our roster sheet. So we apologize for that, young lady, not being able to announce your name because we don't have your number and name on the sheet, unfortunately. So pretty much right on cue here. I talked about it. We had a 10-5 lead. I was looking for like a 6 or 7 point run, and the Lady Raiders have provided. Let's maybe extend that even further, and that's exactly what Cameron Wise has in mind. As she collects another kill to extend the lead now to 18-5. The train has really fell off the rails here for Daleville. And again, that's no disrespect whatsoever. It's very unfortunate, for their sake. Obviously, for Wapahani's sake, that's what you want. But tough ball game right there. But Wise doing some more damage. I think that might have been off one of the young ladies' heads right there. In for the kill now, 19-5. And an ace now for Bowden. Of course, you never know with, I don't think the county pairings have came out yet, the county tournament pairings, at least we haven't seen any yet. But we potentially might be seeing these Lady Broncos again here within the next week or so. Briley Felton now in here for Emma Schuck. So I'm sure that will be the end of the road here for Emma tonight. And another ace here for Wapahani. I would be willing to bet probably in these 3 sets. I would say we've got to be pushing pretty close to probably a good 15, 16 aces in tonight's game. Unfortunately, they're a serving error for Wapahani. But we'll have Audrey Voss now back to serve for Daleville, as Wapahani is just 4 points away from a clean sweep of the Lady Broncos here tonight, as it's having some more issues of keeping, I guess, the students off the floor. Felton on the attack, dug by Yoder. Ray now set on to number 12. She hits that one into the net. Baker will return to action for Chloe Cook. And Baker will be back to serve. Again, here's Wapahani only needing 3 more points. Yoder to Ray. Deflected in the air. Now Bowden sends it to Summers. There's got to be some net violation, and there will be on Daleville. Floater served there by Baker. Couldn't get that one over the net. Now 23-7, and we'll have number 4, Ava Poppy, back in for Daleville, and number 16, Annabella Ray, back to serve. There's Smith. On to Bowden, now to Summers. And that spells out kill right there, 24-7. So Cadence Brewer in here. Cameron Wise back to serve as this is match point. And that is going to be an ace, and what a way to finish it, ironically enough. So the Raiders win it tonight in straight set fashion with a clean sweep over the Daleville Lady Broncos. Final score here tonight, 25-13, 25-7, 25-7. As your Wapahani Lady Raiders now improve to 14-1 on the season, a perfect 6-0 conference record, And again, they'll be back at it on Wednesday night at home as we take on another conference foe and the Monroe Central Lady Golden Bears. So make sure to stay tuned in with that one. Again, we appreciate all of our sponsors here tonight. Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, the Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, the Liberty Prairie Alumni Association, and Kara J. Wolf DDS. And folks, again, thanks for staying tuned in on this Monday night of Lady Raider Volleyball. We appreciate you for joining us. So until next time, I'm Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy saying good night from Daleville.